Hey you guys, it's Britt. Today we're here to talk about a couple of updates regarding the Dougherty Dozen. There were some new things that have come to light that I wanted to talk about. So if you're interested, please keep watching. All right, you guys, so I was over on the Dougherty Dozen subreddit, which of course I will link down below if you guys are interested in this situation, if you're following it, if you're sort of new to it but you're curious, go over to the Reddit. They really post a ton over there, and there is a reason why. Like, sometimes I feel like it's painted as if me and Amy Robinson are like the only people on YouTube covering this, and we're the only ones that are like oddballs with opinions about Alicia, and that's just not true. Their subreddit at this point has 5,600 members, and that's a lot of people. It's a lot of people that are either curious enough to follow the subreddit, or they're full blown, like they see the issues with Alicia and her content. And as a reminder, I just want to say that when I criticize Alicia and what she's doing by oversharing and not taking privacy seriously, and egging on her stands to be inappropriate and things like that, all of those are important conversations. But as a reminder for anyone who needs it, if you want the opinions to be taken seriously, there's no room to make gross remarks about the children. There's no need to attack Alicia for the way that she looks, or things that are out of her control, like the way her voice sounds or things like that. And I wanted to put that in the beginning of this video because, yes, I know that the Dad Challenge podcast did a video on her, and while the topic is very important, he literally opened up the section of talking to her, or talking about her, by asking if she was related to Katie Joy because of the way that she spoke, and also insulting the way that she looked, saying that she had way too much eyeliner on, and that tied back to people that adopt kids. Like, I get it. Sometimes that kind of commentary can be a little bit more lighthearted, but when you're literally talking about a woman that is exploiting her children and oversharing their medical issues, and you're literally reacting to a video of her showing medications that her children are on, that's not really the time or the place to be snarky about her makeup. And again, that's just my opinion, because it is a really serious topic and it needs to be talked about, but it can be talked about without making the personal digs and things like that. There's a time and a place to be a little bit snarky, and then there's a time and a place to actually cover it with all seriousness, because that is what this is. It's a very serious matter. It's not, jokes and a mini bullying session. And I just wanted to get that out of the way, because a lot of times when these strong criticisms come out because of people that are making gross remarks about the kids or attacking Alicia for the way that she looks, what that allows her to do is call anyone with criticism a bully. And that's just not true. Most of us, not all, but most of us are looking at her content, looking at the issues with the privacy and the oversharing medical stuff, and exploiting these kids' backstories for her own attention and fame and admiration online. That's what most of us are here to talk about. So I wanted to get that out of the way in the beginning of the video. But first things first, I want to show this comment that was left on a YouTube video. There's a really good point to be made with this, and it's the caption says, "When her fans are so weird, you can't actually tell if this is a joke or not." And it's completely valid, but someone left a comment and said, "Can you do an allergy roll call?" Alicia does these roll calls where she'll do height, birthday, age, whatever, and line up her kids, and her kids will give their height or their age or whatever. This person could be being completely serious, and if they are, you're weird. Why, again, do we want to know medical info about kids? These kids and what they're going through has nothing to do with you or spreading awareness or being an advocate. Their medical issues are personal to them. And until they're old enough to actually be able to say, yes, I want to share this, they should be given that grace. And that's been my argument from the get-go. The next comment was also on YouTube, and someone said, I hope that the two bonus kids, as Alicia has called them, that's not my tag, that's her tag, can stay with you all, because if they leave, we will miss them. First of all, why are you missing kids? That might be just something that the person said, but if you're legitimately thinking of a child not being on the internet and you're genuinely going to miss them, to me, that is a red flag and it's very creepy. But Alicia did respond and said they will still visit if they ever leave. Hopefully, I don't know. I think that a lot of the materialistic stuff that she buys for these kids is going to build her case as far as, look at all the things that I'm, quote, providing for these kids. And the only purchase that I have come and said I completely agree with is her buying the boy a bike. And that's because I advocate for kids having physical activities that they can do outside of the house, so that they're not just sinking into the couch watching TV or scrolling on social media or playing on iPads. I am here for a bicycle, a skateboard, roller skates, whatever it is. If it gets them outside and it gives them something that they can be passionate about and get better at, I will always be here for it. But I do think that by her buying the specific bike that he wanted, that was $800, I think that that was going to serve her, not necessarily because that's the bike that he wanted. It was a big ticket item that she could buy immediately in order to gain favor with not only him, but also her audience. The last thing I want to say about the bike thing is that had to have been a bike that he specifically knew of and sent it to her saying, hey, I really want this one. Because to me, Alicia is not someone who follows BMX or anyone who rides bikes professionally or knows of like anyone who's been in the X Games. I just don't think that that's her forte. But I do think that obviously a teen boy would be interested in who's riding BMX, who's at the X Games, what kind of bikes are they riding, who's one of your favorite riders. So he would know that and she wouldn't. So even though I think it was to serve her, that is one thing I will say. If it gets him out of the house, and whether he's riding to go meet his girlfriend or whatever, I don't care about any of that. But at the same time, as I've said, I think it's important to try to be reasonable when looking at some of these families. A lot of times I'll hear from you guys, well, say what you do like about them. And some people don't like when I say what I do like about them. But in this situation, I will say that him being able to have a bike to spend time outside of the house is a good thing. And that's why I'm voicing it on the second video now. This is a really important video. This was back in February on TikTok. Alicia posted regarding her income. So let's listen.
Following is a disclaimer that I don't have to do, but I feel the need to do. We choose to share our family.
She comes off as very robotic to me. Do you guys agree with that? Sometimes when I see her just doing these small videos, it's almost like she's reading from a script. She comes off as very robotic, very much, I'm just going to say this because I have to. It doesn't come off as heartfelt. It doesn't come off as I care about my content, so I'm going to put this video out to you guys so that you know where I stand. It just comes off as very much like a task.
Publicly because we enjoy it. It helps to advocate for adoption from foster care, and it also helps to give people hope. We do not and have not made any money off of any of our news appearances, articles, or podcasts.
Okay, so you haven't made money off of those things, but let's talk about the money that you do make. I will throw a screenshot right here or insert the clip where she herself shared what their monthly income is, and it was approximately $42,000, and that was months ago. I'm sure it's gone up since then, but all the money that you're making off YouTube, all the money you're making off sponsorships, all the money you're making off TikTok, all the free stuff that you're getting, all the things that you're putting on these Amazon on your Amazon wish list so that people can buy your children gifts, even though you're making $42,000 a month approximately. That to me is not covering all your bases. So cool, you don't get money off the podcasts or these little appearances that you might do, allegedly, even though I don't believe a word that she says. But let's talk about where all the big bank is. Let's talk about the money that she makes for bringing children into her home. Let's talk about the money that she makes by exploiting their stories. Let's talk about the money she makes off of a YouTube video showing all of their medications, or talking about their bathroom habits, or talking about one of the girls being scared that she was going to start her period, so she wears period underwear every single day. Let's talk about the mental health issues that she has exploited. Let's talk about her throwing shade at some birth parents because they gave some of these children fetal alcohol syndrome. Let's talk about her saying that she has to lock up her White Claw in her bedroom now because it's gone missing. Let's talk about all of that, not just, oh, we don't make money off podcasts. That's called manipulating the story so that people continue to believe your bullshit narrative.
Not even the People magazine article. We do not ask for money ever. Our Venmo and PayPal are linked in our link tree because people wanted to donate to our foster care toy drive and our foster care closet.
Where are the receipts that the money going to those is actually being given to the organizations? Where are the receipts? Because I can link a PayPal all day long and say it's going to go to this organization, but unless I'm coming to you once a month or quarterly and saying, here's the income from PayPal, here's the external payment that went to this organization, you can't just say, oh, I'm donating stuff, or oh, I'm pledging stuff. You have to be able to show the receipts. You have to show the proof. If you're going to come to me and say you're donating something and I don't see the proof for it, then I'm not going to believe you. And that's just, some people might say, oh, that's a you problem. But let's not act like we're advocating for these organizations when you're not showing any of the proof of payments actually being made to said organizations. Charity work is really important, and I think it's absolutely amazing. But I've also seen a lot of influencers plug a charity so that they can make themselves look a little bit better, like, oh, this money isn't for me, it's going to said charity. But if you don't show me the receipts, I'm not going to believe you.
Which we do solely on volunteer hours. Yes, we have a merch shirt. The profits go directly through Pledge Link to a foster adoption agency. So it's impossible to say we're exploiting our children for money when we have no money. So stop trying to tear us down. We're the Dougherty Dozen.
Okay, so that goes back to, let's look at the income breakdown that she showed herself. Sure, if you're going to say that your merch income and all that, which again, I don't believe you, but let's just say that that is true. Let's talk about the over $40,000 that's being made. Let's focus on that. Let's not focus on this small little income that might be going to a charity or some other company. Let's talk about the bulk of the income. Because Alicia deleted that income video because she knew that it exposed her ass and all the money that she's making off the backs of these kids.
No.
Oh. Mom, which one is Australia?
It is Australia.
Oh,
Superhero Auntie Lauren.
So see, this is the stuff when she shows this and she feeds into these parasocial relationships. I am not sorry for saying this. I think Auntie Lauren is the worst example of what a parasocial relationship looks like. I think that she is oddly obsessed with this family. I almost feel ill when I think about the level of obsession that she has built around some of these kids. And I'm very, she just makes me very nervous. It's very creepy behavior. And the fact that Alicia literally feeds and waters this scary ass relationship tells me that she doesn't care about the privacy of her kids. She doesn't care about the fact that some weird lady in Australia is literally obsessing over her children. They did share a video that, YouTuber headlines did. I was glad to see that she covered them. But the one and only Auntie Lauren also posted a comment on a recent live stream, and she said, for those asking why the comments were turned off, there have been some posts made recently which have brought in some trolls, I think is what she meant, and the kids making pizzas. It wasn't ideal for them to read what was being said. And I'll say what I've always said. There's no reason to make derogatory comments towards the kids. Alicia does enough on her own to criticize. There's no reason to send any of that to the children, because what it's going to do is allow her to say, oh, everyone's a hater, everyone is hating on me. Now, I know that my silly little video is not going to stop anyone from making these crude comments, but the thing that I do find interesting is Alicia will sit there and allow comments to slide that are inappropriate towards the kids, but then if it's a criticism of her, she'll delete it. So I agree, let's not leave up comments that are sending negativity towards the kids, but why are you getting rid of criticism but leaving up comments that are hateful towards your kids? That makes no sense. Now I want to show you guys some comments from her Instagram live, because this is what I'm talking about. If she has moderators to keep everyone kind, then why are there always so many inappropriate comments that come through? One of the comments said, can you show the boys' rooms? Let's stop asking her to do house tours. If you are that curious as to see where children sleep at night, please sign off the internet forever and don't come back. Those of you that are constantly asking, do a house tour, I want to see so-and-so's room, I want to see so-and-so's, stop. That is so inappropriate. It is so bizarre. And if you're one of those people who is just curious and you're not, you're like, oh, well, I'm just wondering, check yourself as to why you're so curious as to where children lay their heads at night. And then someone else made a comment, can you show them in the pool? Why are people so damn creepy? And here's the thing, these comments have been coming through for a very long time, and Alicia continues to overshare. So let's get something really straight. I'm not focusing on something that she overshared a year ago, and since then she's really just switched it up and, changed things. She sees these comments and continually overshares and continues to give people way too much information. So if the behavior had been changed, we would have a completely different conversation on our hands right now. But it hasn't changed. It's gotten worse. She's continued to feed parasocial relationships. She has continued to exploit these children. And she has continued to overshare and laugh off the fact that her address is not only on Google, but she continues to show the front of her damn house. And the last comment that I want to read is the subreddit was actually talking about Josh's coverage on Alicia, and they said, leave it to DCP to drop the ball on A. If he would do his own research, he probably would have found better videos that to put out on her, but instead she got praise. And he's just a sham. I'm not going to focus too much on him, but it sucks because the size platform that he has, he could have really brought some attention to what she's doing wrong. But at this point, I just have no faith in him. He says that he wants to pay people to do research for him, but how can you even trust that those people are actually giving you factual information? You cannot be a lazy commentary channel. When you're talking about things that are so serious that actually need to be talked about, and you're combining that with someone who's lazy and money hungry, you get a challenge, or you get a channel like the Dad Challenge podcast. And, frankly, it's not worth my energy right now, but I did want to, at least mention that his reputation is tarnished on multiple platforms now. And more people are, anytime he's mentioned, it's like, oh God, why? I just really wanted to make this video to say that Alicia has no self-awareness, and what she's going to do, because of the few hateful people on the internet, what that's going to allow her to do is just call everyone haters and trolls. And I'm not going to stop talking about her. I'm going to continue to talk about her toxic presence on multiple platforms as I do other people. And if you're here to say she's spreading awareness, she's the most amazing person ever, you are incorrect. Of course, that's my opinion, based on a lot of things that I've seen her do. You cannot have awareness be oversharing to the level that she does. That's just not how it works. So either way, wanted to do this little check-in, share some stuff on the Reddit that was more recent, but there will be more coming, not only on Alicia, but obviously other people that I cover as well. So for now, if you like the video, please leave a like and a comment. And if you'd like to see more from me in the future, please subscribe. I'll see you guys soon. Bye.